This right to Senator John McCain. He joined us as well this morning. Senator McCain, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks,
you heard
George.
Senator Schumer just invoke your name on the issue of Russia, Russian sanctions. What's your take on that possible deal that President Trump has floated?
Well, I'm deeply concerned about our relationship with Russia. I believe that the president has around him a national security team that is very concerned as well. All of them, whether it's General Mattis or General Kelly or General Flynn or my good friend Dan Coates, view Russia as our major challenge. They have committed war crimes. They have. When you have airplanes with precision weapons striking hospitals in Aleppo and slaughtering innocent men, women, and children, you are committing a war crime. So we need more sanctions against Russia. We should not relax them. If we have peace through strength, and by the way, rebuilding our military is one thing that I'm excited about this administration and General Mattis. But if we don't keep those sanctions on and even increase them, it will encourage Vladimir Putin, who is a war criminal.
When you mentioned the president's national security team, you didn't mention his nominee for Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson. Have you decided how you're going to vote on his nomination?
I will be voting in favor of his nomination. I've had numerous conversations with him. And again, my concerns have been about our relations with Russia and his past relations. I believe, and I'm very cautious about this, but I believe that Mr. Tillerson understands the importance of a steadfast and strong relationship.
How did he assure you?
Well, he talked to me a lot about his views about Russia, about the events that have taken place, about the fact of what his duties were as a head of one of the world's largest corporations. Listen, this wasn't an easy call, but I also believe that when there's doubt, the incoming president, gets the benefit of the doubt, and that's the way I have treated every president that I've had the obligation to vote for or against as a member of the United States Senate.
And on the issue of Russia, are you confident that all these investigations, the investigations by the intelligence agencies now, the investigation by the FBI, the congressional investigations, are going to get to the bottom of what happened in this election?
It may, but the best way to do it is with a select committee or a commission. What the Russians did was imperil the very fundamental of a democracy, and that is to affect the election. I don't believe there's any evidence that they did, but the attempt was very sophisticated. The attempt was much more far-reaching than we had ever anticipated. And so there has to be a full and complete investigation, and that should guide our relations to a large degree with Russia.
You heard both Kellyanne Conway and Senator Schumer weigh in on both the president's inaugural speech and that speech yesterday at the CIA. What's your take? Well,
my take is that obviously I disagreed with some of the things that the president-elect said, but the point to me is not what he's saying, because we keep reacting to just things he says in his tweets. What he is doing is important, and I have the utmost confidence in General Mattis, General Flynn, General Kelly, Dan Coates. I couldn't have picked a better team. And so I'm confident that he will listen to them and be guided by them. As far as this back and forth on his tweet, that's an endless rabbit hole.
You say you have utmost confidence in his team. Do you have utmost confidence in President Trump?
I do not know, George. I do not know, because he has made so many comments that are contradictory. But I think the fact that he's appointed and nominated these outstanding individuals is bound to be an encouraging sign. I trust them and believe in them, and I've worked with them over many years.
Finally, you also heard Senator Schumer say he thinks that President Trump has to go farther on getting rid of his businesses. He thinks he has to fully divest, and if he doesn't, he's putting himself at risk. Do you agree?
I think that that's up to more experts than me, but clearly I think his tax returns have always been a tradition that should be observed. And by the way, on this march yesterday, it's also a testimony to the power of social networking. This wasn't big on ABC News, but it was networked all over the country, and it was a pretty remarkable turnout.
What'd you think of it?
I think it was remarkable, and I think it's an urgent plea for us all to sit down together. The world's on fire, George. We're in more danger than we've been, and our adversaries are increasing their military capabilities dramatically and closing the gap. We need to work together, as we do on the Armed Services Committee, I'm happy to say.
Senator McCain, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.